Every builder in town is building the same ho-hum home except us. So don't complain about ho-hum homes. Build bold. Build miracle. Hi, I'm Tom Hignite. That 30-second commercial you just saw has been playing on Builders Showcase television, and it's called Miracle Complaints, and it's more than just complaining about homes that look boring, which, in my humble opinion, many of them do. They all look sort of the same, and we're drowning in a sea of sameness. And we can do something about it by just using some creativity and some innovation. It's what separates a great home from all the rest, and hopefully what you're seeing here is great homes. This gets a little wordy, so walk with me. The term Miracle Complaints for that commercial actually has two meanings. The second meaning is complaints that you might read on the internet. Things about, poor construction, or hard to get along with my wife Jackie, or doorknobs that fall off in your hands. Things that are fabricated and things that may have some truth to them. But there's quite a few of them, and I wanted to address that right here. Well, the old saying, there's two sides to every story. Well, I don't have the time, nor do you, to go into all the sides of every one of the stories that you may have read or seen on the internet. But I can tell you this, that for every one person that we make unhappy, we probably make 100 happy. But the idea is, we build thousands of homes for thousands of people. And if I have even 10 people that are unhappy and decide to go on the internet, well, that's a problem, because we want to make nobody unhappy. Unfortunately, we do go back when we see these things on the internet, and we do try our hardest to make these people happy. We'll go back and do something 2, 3, 4, 5 times to try to make them happy. But it's very rare that we actually have people that then go in and write and reverse the commentary, so it stays online for quite a while. The problem is that we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. I make my share of them. I'm sure that you make your share of them too. The idea is that in that strive to always be perfect for 6 months of building a home, or 4 months, or whatever it might be, it's just not possible. So we do have our little times when we fall down, but we sure try to pick ourselves up, because we wouldn't have been in business 25 years or so and have built as many homes as we have without having done something right. This house, the Grand Bay, is a perfect example of that. This is one of the most ornate, complicated homes that we've ever built. But every home I do, I'm trying to do something extraordinary. And I'm an artist for 7 years of art school, no degree, terrible plan. Don't ever suggest that to anybody, that you would go 7 years to any school and not get a degree. But in doing that, I am very picky about how things go in a home. I also realize that perfection is impossible. So what I'm doing is, when we're building a home, I'm always trying to work with subcontractors. And the subcontractors that we get for a home like the Grand Bay, which has a lot of stained glass, a lot of wrought iron, a lot of very complicated inlaid floors, this kind of a home is something that might have been built 200 years ago. And when someone doesn't get it right, one of our subcontractors, for example, and we have to part ways because we've given them 2 or 3 chances to get it right, what are they going to tell their friends? Are they going to tell their friends and associates, yeah, I worked for Miracle Homes, but I wasn't good enough for them, whatever the words may be? Or are they going to say, that Miracle Homes, that Tom Hicknight, he's a jerk. And his wife Jackie, she's no better because she's really penny pinching. And there is that is always going to happen in human interactions. So when you do hear that somebody says something unfortunate about Miracle Homes as a subcontractor, please remember that we have people that have been subcontracting and working with us for almost as long as we've been in business, and will stand up for us any day of the week. Walk with me. A couple of other items I'd like to touch on as long as we're talking about Miracle complaints. We have quite a few compliments. We have people that are building their third and even fourth home, their kids that are building with us, that have had very great experiences. Unfortunately, those people don't necessarily run to the internet and post that, although sometimes they do. When you see things like carved cabinets and beautiful leaded glass and unique designs where we have drawers and doors that look alike. I can go to any area in this home or in any one of my homes and show you something that's really different than what another builder would be doing, because we really are not interested in building what every other builder is doing. And I don't care if you're building a $250,000 or a $2 million project, but it's going to be the same attitude, because you don't change a person's heart for who's building for you just by the dollar amount that's in the project. If it's a lower price project, we're trying to make it go even better. But there is another area of complaint that I'd like to talk to you about. Forgive me for preaching a little bit, but I can't leave a session like this about complaints without telling you one of my most passionate complaints. Personally, it's this product right here. This is a TJI floor joist. They're generally built like a long I-beam. They support the floors on most homes today. I went through the parade of homes last year, and I didn't see one builder that wasn't using these in their floors. So we have a divide between us and the competition, because I will look at something like this and say, this to me is like you're building asbestos into your home. I feel that to the soul of my, to the feet of my soul. I feel that you should not be building a home with this. Yet every builder is building with this. The reasoning? Firefighters around the country are trying to outlaw this stuff from going into homes. But unless you are going to stop using this and stop building with this and say you're not going to build a home with this, you could be buying something and this will continue on forever to be a fire hazard. Firefighters are dying, people are dying in their homes because these things burn in 15 minutes, they collapse. The firefighters take about 15 minutes to get to a home, and putting this sort of a thing in your home is incredibly dangerous for you to do. Do not build a home with this. One thing you'll never see in our homes is particle board floor joists. If I say that, and the whole group of builders that I'm with is building with that, and I've done this over the years in many other applications that I feel passionate should be a certain way, and I'll do it this way, the other builders are at odds with me. When you go and talk to the other builders and they tell you why they think that's okay to build with that, I'm sure there were plenty of people telling you it's okay to build a house that has things that would promote mold growth. I was very adamant about building moldy houses. A lot of builders were building that a while back. We did not. When I get adamant about something, the other builders get very upset with me. When I do something very creative, for example, when we were in the Parade of Homes winning awards and doing great in the Parade of Homes, we would do things very differently. We'd give out umbrellas, we'd give out cookies, we'd give out, if it's raining outside, you get an umbrella or a poncho. We had coloring books, we had free cookouts and things like that. The other builders didn't have those things. And that's, God bless them, that's up to them to do that. Unfortunately, it's become such a clique with the MBA that they would get together and they'd say, just don't do that anymore. They make a rule against that. So when I'd bring in finance experts into my homes, they'd say, you can't do that. So why are we not a part of the MBA? Because we just are not meant. We're oil and water. It doesn't get along. We're part of the WBA, the Washington County Association, but we are not a part of the Milwaukee Builders Association. I wish them nothing but the best, but oil and water may not ever mix. Hopefully someday we will. Well, we do a lot of unusual things in our homes, and there's no doubt that we've gotten our fair share of criticism for any one of them. I remember the first time that we put a TV over a fireplace. Everybody said that was crazy, that why would you do that? When we did 4-foot wide stairs when everyone was doing 3-foot wide stairs, they said you're wasting a foot of space. Eventually, some things become normal, but some things may never become normal in our construction because we're always trying to be ahead of the curve. In 1998, excuse my bragging here, but we made space for 80-inch television sets because I thought that might be the future. What we're doing now with our homes is a lot of modernism. Of course, you're not seeing that here. You're seeing a lot of old things in this home. But one of the things that I want to end this with, probably the one thing I'll end this with today, is our religion. See, every one of our commercials we've had over the years, we end with, "We are Miracle Homes, a Christian-based company." And without going too much into that, what does that mean? Does that mean we don't build for some people, that if you're Jewish or if you don't believe in God at all? Of course not. We'll build for anybody. We're going to give you as great of a building experience as we can. That started off as my wife Jackie and I wondering how we would ever be able to thank God for what He's bestowed upon us. And we figured we would put it as in a way of being God's business without actually saying God Builders or Jesus Inc. The miracle became part of that. And our saying we are a Miracle Christian-based company was a way of saying our thanks for that. Well, over the years it's been misunderstood, and as of late we've stopped using it. We have heard some people say that they will never forget that and that they don't want to do business with us because we're using religion for our purpose of business, try to get people for, but that's really not the case. Before I wrap that up, I'm standing right here. If you look up, it kind of looks like we are in a shrine. This is one of my favorite parts of any home I've ever built, by the way. It looks like a Roman dome ceiling, and it's two arches going in opposing directions, but I greatly digress. Let's get back on track. So our Christianity is something that we will never lose, although we may not advertise it as much, and hopefully that'll be just fine for everybody involved. Stained glass, another symbol of the church, right? It's funny, we're known a lot now for our very contemporary designs, but we just happen to be in this home. We can do a little of this and a little of that. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.